Both of these are full of linens of some sort. And honestly, I never use those. Once I'm done with all my decluttering, I will probably declutter some of my bins as well. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Melinda, plain and simple. Today, it's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another tiny tidy. This week, I'm in our bedroom, and I have probably 4 or 5 spots in this room that I've been wanting to tackle, but I've been procrastinating because when I look in here, I think, well, they're not that big. I should just get them all done. But the thing is, I have a neck issue, and I know that if I try to do it all at once, I'm going to trigger the pain, and I'm going to be out of commission for probably 1 to 3 days. And I don't want to do that because, I've been through that too many times, and I don't want to trigger that pain again, and I don't know, it just steals away from my life. So if you can relate to that, you probably understand what I'm talking about. The other thing is, it's not really a huge declutter, and I save my bigger declutters for my Friday videos. So I've just really been procrastinating, but I want this room to be tidied up. So it occurred to me, why not split it up and make several tiny tidies out of it? So that's what I'm going to do. And I'll show you around the room, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Some other people, you might be one of them, you could come in here and do all of these at once. If you can, go for it. But for those of you who have an issue of any type, whether it's time constraints or a health issue, energy, whatever it is, if you have a reason that you can't get it all done at once, then it's okay to split it up and do it in smaller sessions. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'll show you around and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not horrible, but it's just more than I can do in one session. So let's go see what I'm going to do for my tiny tidy today. And don't forget, this is a collab called Tiny Tidy Tuesdays, hosted by Sunday Dawn from The Helpful Home. And I'll put a link in the description box below so you can check out her channel. And I'll also put a link for the playlist in the description below so you can check out all the other videos created by the ladies who are participating in this week's Tiny Tidy. I'm sure you'll find lots of motivation and inspiration from these ladies. They're pretty cool, so don't forget, check them out. Meanwhile, let's go take a peek around my room, and then I'll show you what my tiny tidy for today is going to be. Come on. It's not huge. It's not a huge room, but we do have a little bit of floor space at the end of the bed. Our previous home, we didn't. We had 2 feet around our bed. That was it, the whole way around. But in this room, we have a little bit more space. This is my husband's side of the bed, and these are his things that he has here. Those need to be tidied up and dusted and that stuff. And my side of the closet needs a little tidying up because it's getting out of sorts. And I'd like to find a better place to put this stuff, but that's where it's at right now. And that's a hot mess. Needs to be cleaned up. And that vacuum cleaner, that's from when I did the declutter in the Doom room, and I was going to Google that and see if I could figure out how to fix it, but I have not done that yet. I moved it in here when we had a repair person coming, and then I ended up leaving it there, forgetting about it, so I need to deal with that. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's not terrible. So I'm going to split them up into like 3 or 4. That can be one, the closet can be one, and this hot mess over here, that could be one. I might do that with one of the others. I'm not sure. I don't think that's enough to be a tiny tidy on its own, but there's never too little of a tiny tidy, right? But the one I'm going to do today is in the closet. This is the shelf in the closet in our bedroom, and there's not a whole lot up in here, but I'm going to pull what's in here out, wipe the shelf down, and maybe put some of these things elsewhere. These two purses, I really only use these in the fall and winter, so I can put these somewhere else. This doesn't need to be here. And I have this basket. I'm going to pull this down and go through it and see if there's anything in there that I can get rid of. And also, down on the other end, there's another basket that I'm going to pull down and see if there's anything that I can let go of. Both of these are full of linens of some sort. So far, I have taken the top layer of things off of this basket, and I have some travel size pillows, and honestly, I never use those. Even when we take a trip, they're not comfortable for me in the car, so I'm just going to go ahead and let them go. Some of them are just so stiff, and you know, and like I said, we just don't use them. And I have a couple of travel pillow protectors. I'm going to go ahead and let those go as well. And I have this basket that is full of pillowcases. And majority of the time, we just use the ones that are this off-white kind. So I'm going to go ahead and let go of all of the blue ones. And I think with these, I'll go through all of these and see, well, 4, 6. So there's 8 in here. I don't know that I need that many, so I think I'll go through and maybe keep 4 or 6. I'll see which ones look the best, and I'll keep those, and the rest of those, I will let those go. And I had just the rags over top just to keep them from getting dusty. So that's what those are for. And this basket has those pillow protectors, which I do use these, and this is the kind of pillowcase that I use on my pillow, so I'll keep those. The other ones are the ones I use for my husband's pillows, so that's why I don't need to have that many. So I will go through these as well and see if there's any that are not in, you know, like if they're not in good shape, then I'll just go ahead and let them go. If they're all in good shape, then I'll pick the ones that, I'll just pick a few and I'll let the rest of them go. So I will go through those and see how that's going. And then the sheets, the same thing as with the pillowcases. We use the ones that are off-white. So I'm just going to go ahead and let the blue ones go. And I don't use the fitted sheets anymore. I just use the flat sheets on our bed. So looks like I have an odd number, and so we don't need to have an odd number of them. So we'll keep that, and then I had another set, and I'm going to make sure I'll feel of these and make sure that we like the feel of these, and if we don't, I will just let them go. But we don't need to have all these other ones if we're not going to use them. From the first basket, I kept 4 of the flat sheets. We don't use the fitted kind, so I only had flat. I already decluttered all the fitted ones. And also those 2 down there, they were laying on the shelf. And that's how they were folded, so I just put them in there as they were. I didn't refold them. So I have 6 flat sheets in this basket. I also have 2 that we have on our bed, and I just wash those and put them back on. But when those start getting worn, these will be the ones that I will pull from. Or if we, for some reason, needed to have an extra set for some, you know, just if we didn't get the laundry done or something like that and needed to change sheets. So that's the reason I'm hanging on to so many is because that way I don't have to buy any for a long time. We have the shelf space, and I already had them, so I've decluttered a lot already, but I decided to keep these, and these will be the ones that I use instead of having to go and purchase more at another date, because like I said, I have the space, so it's not an issue. And I kept 5 pillowcases. These are for my husband because these are the kind he uses. I kept 4 pillow protectors because I do use pillow protectors on our pillows. And I kept the 3 satin pillowcases because that's what I use on my pillow. So that's what those are for. And I kept them in a bin, and I left space here so that I can tuck it right down into this basket, and I can put it back in the closet and store it. And then if we need a sheet or a pillowcase, I can pull them out of here. I'm going to put these with my bins. I'm not decluttering my bins yet because in some cases I still use them. I'll pull from my bin stash and I use them. Once I'm done with all my decluttering, I will probably declutter some of my bins as well. But for now, I'm just hanging on to them. In the second bin, there was my foam pillow. It's shaped, and this is something that I use when I do like exercises where I have to lay on the floor, and this helps to protect my neck, so I need to keep that. And it has a pillowcase on it to keep it from getting dirty, so I will keep that. This blue pillowcase was in there, and so I'll be letting that go. And there was another pillow protector in there. I don't know that I need another one, so I may go ahead and let that one go as well. And the only thing left in here are these two things. I have this red blanket cover thing. We use this when it's a really cold winter and, you know, when you need an extra blanket on the bed, we would pull this out. But when I got a quilt for our bedspread, we've just been leaving that on the bed all winter and using that for the cold nights. So we didn't even pull this out and use it. I'm going to go ahead and keep it because we may still need to pull that out at some point. But yeah, I'll keep that one, and it's in a pillowcase just to keep it protected so it doesn't get dirty up in the closet, you know, dusty and all that. Because even though it's in the closet, it gets dusty. When I cleaned the shelf off, it was really dusty. And the other one was this one, and I forgot we had this one. This is the quilt we had on our bed, and I think I took it off. I think I used it at summer and spring, and I took it off, and I put it up there, and I forgot about it. The quilt that we have on our bed now, not the bedspread one, but the other one, is getting kind of ratty, and I did want to replace it, so I think I'll just swap it out with this one. And so I'll put this on our bed, and then that means I can let this pillowcase go, because I don't think I need any more pillowcases than what I've already picked out over there. So I'm going to wash this and then put this on our bed, and then I can let the quilt that is on our bed right now, I can let it go. Instead of putting both of these laundry baskets back on the shelf in our closet, I decided to just put everything into one. So I have the sheets and the pillowcases on the bottom. On top of that, I have the red coverlet that we only pull out if it's a really cold winter. And on top of that, I have the foam pillow that I use for my neck, and that one needs to be most easily accessible, so that's why it's on top. So this is what's going to go back on the shelf in our closet, and that is my tiny tidy for this Tuesday.
My mama had a ton of sheets. They filled up a whole drawer. Then Macy's had a white sale, and she bought herself some more. She had more sheets than fitted in, so something had to go. But Mama filled a second drawer with linen overflow. The solids and the printeds, that's the way she organized. The pretty ones for company, every type and size. Embroidered ones and eyelet trimmed, fancy ones and plain. My Mama filled another drawer, and only one remained. Number 3 spilled into 4, but Mama didn't stop. Every drawer was crammed so tight, the thing was bound to pop. And when it did, my mom declared she had never liked those drawers. She gave away every sheet and never did buy more.
And don't forget, check out that playlist below. Several of my friends have done tiny tidies today, and I'm sure you'll find something to motivate and inspire you to do a tiny tidy around your house. And if you do, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Meanwhile, happy decluttering!